All right, and welcome to Fast Break Breakfast NBA podcast. My name is Keith Parrish, and I am here once again with my buddy through the miracle of computer phone, talking to me live from Oklahoma City, Dave DeFore, covering the finals. Dave, what do you want to talk about?
I would like to talk about the finals. This rules, man.
You would?
Yeah. You know what's funny is, like, look, I've been doing this a long time, and I'm pretty chill about what we do. It's fun, right? Like, I have a very fun job, but I'm mostly chill about it. Yesterday, I woke up probably about as excited that I have this job as I've been in my entire life. And then to have that game that night.
Yeah.
And it was a long, long day for me, Keith. And I was like, up till 3 a.m. I woke up at 6 a.m. Central Time yesterday to do like an interview.
Wow.
In the UK. Yeah, I was on a podcast in the UK and just couldn't get back to sleep. Like I was.
And you're a West Coast man for the listener.
Yeah.
So 6 Central Time. That's 4 for you.
4. Yeah.
And then you had to stay up. And then how do you come down from this moment?
Couldn't.
You're watching that.
Reliving it. With everybody
stuff.
who we watched it with, man. It was a great, it was an awesome day. One of my best days in the job.
So that's awesome. And I'm so happy for you being able to be at the finals covering it. And what an amazing game. We'll talk about it. But first, Dave, have you seen the movie Like Mike?
That's with Bow Wow.
Lil Bow Wow.
I believe I've seen it. Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Was he Lil Bow Wow then, or was he?
He was very little. He is now Bow Wow. He was very little back then. I hadn't seen it, Dave, until like a few weeks ago.
Okay.
It's pretty good. I was a little bit surprised. And it's not bad. It's heartfelt. It's entertaining. I would say it's a kid's movie. Like I'd never seen it because when it came out, I was a little bit too old. It wasn't for me, even if there was the NBA angle.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta say, impressive things about it. I'm gonna tie this in a second. Impressive things about this NBA movie. I mean, they got a lot of NBA stars in there, which is like, that's pretty cool.
Right.
You had NBA stars allowing themselves to be embarrassed on camera by Lil Bow Wow, by a child. I mean, again, the movie's pretty good. Yeah. There is there's a moment where this child flies through the air and dunks the basketball. And initially the fans in the crowd recoil in horror. It's seeing something so unnatural. Like it's like, oh, this child can fly. But then they like, there's like a slow clap and then they just get over it. They're like, oh, this kid can fly. That's no big deal. But do you know who produced that movie? The producer. One of the 2 executive producers listed, Adam Silver. Adam Silver running NBA Entertainment 20-something years ago gets this pretty solid movie made, gets a bunch of stars to sign on. It's great. Fast forward 20-something years, the NBA Finals presented by Adam Silver. Outside of the basketball, Dave, a little bit underwhelming. Now, I know you were there in the arena.
Right. I have a take on this because
what's your take on this? It was noticeable. There's no pageantry. I agree. No starting lineups. No nothing. It was just like we just started the game like normal. It's like what is this?
It was weird. Okay, so OKC has some interesting stuff, right? Like there's a pregame prayer.
Oh, there is OKC.
You're not putting that on ESPN, buddy.
Yeah.
That's just not going to happen. And so I think that maybe that plays into part of it. Also, the obsession with their studio show that nobody cares about. We actually care more about the pageantry of watching these players get introduced in for most of them, their first NBA Finals. A lot of them, the only one they'll ever go to. So I'm with you there. But I mean, we had that in the arena.
Yeah.
But not at home. And so like I wasn't watching, sometimes I will watch a broadcast while I'm in the arena. I wanted to feel it.
Yeah.
So I wasn't watching the broadcast, but I did, like, during breaks, I checked social media and there was a very good basketball game happening.
Yes.
And it struck me as odd that the overwhelming amount of conversation I saw was about the presentation.
Yeah.
And like, okay, I understand. but it's like a one. Oh man, I wish they put the finals on the court. Meanwhile, the finals are actually on the court. Like they're playing in the finals. It's true, right?
But there's something about like
I know
you just want like, and I'm not, I'm not one who craves a national anthem. I'm more of the why do you do the national anthem before every single sporting event?
I agree.
This is preposterous. But still, there's something about watching the NBA finals where you're like, let's get somebody.
They didn't show the anthem?
No, there's no anthem. There was nothing.
It was actually a very good anthem.
Well, I'm sure OKC is like, we're hosting the finals. We're going to bring somebody. Was it Carrie Underwood?
No, it was somebody I don't know who got a huge ovation.
But you're gonna get a good anthem.
Yeah,
I don't know. Just put this stuff. Make it a presentation. I will say YouTube TV, which was the sponsor, the presenting sponsor for the finals. If you're watching on YouTube TV, you weren't missing out on that Larry O.B. trophy because the cursor, the little dot.
Larry O'Brien.
It was the Larry O'Brien. When you hit pause, it was the Larry O'Brien. I'm like, all right, I get it. It's okay if it says Paycom in huge letters on the arena, which I know you're not getting into that, but still all the ads and stuff.
I just don't. I didn't. It struck me as odd when I walked into the arena the other day and there wasn't the big Larry O'Brien trophy. Yeah. Okay, fine, but not to have the finals script,
just finals on the court. And I think a lot of people correctly pointed out the weirdness. Adam Silver's gone to such lengths to make the NBA Cup floors look crazy. So you're like, oh, this is something. Whereas why wouldn't you at least have a big logo? NBA finals.
This is not. It's funny. The finals are not like a singular tent pole event,
which is weird.
And they don't market the finals like they're trying to package the NBA Cup. Like this is why we keep hearing about we're changing the All-Star game because they see that as like their Super Bowl. This is why we have the NBA Cup. They want stuff like this to sell, and maybe it's an assumption that people are just going to watch the finals anyway. Regardless, which we are, but I mean,
we're gonna get to the finals thing. You just teased the All-Star game tweak. Adam Silver somewhat nonchalantly drops a new tweak, saying it's next year. It's going to be Team USA versus World. Are we voting? Are we voting World versus? How many votes does Santi Aldama need to get in?
Not many. I mean, seriously.
Are we voting East versus West and then splitting it? I'm so confused.
It's silly.
But anyways, Adam Silver had the golden touch on Like Mike. I wish you would, I don't know, rediscover what that was. Give me something. Makes it feel like it's awesome. Stop messing with the All-Star game.
I just don't. East versus West is totally fine. That is a game that no one is supposed to care about. Period. It's supposed to be a fun thing for fans, and it's supposed to be fun for the players. Like I just make it fun. I would drop the game and just do fun and games the whole time, like field day, NBA field day. Give me Russell Westbrook racing LeBron James 94 feet. Like just let's have fun, man. Forget I don't know. The world versus the U.S. thing is just so odd to me. Unless you're going to import talent from around the world to play, I don't know, Team USA or something. I think that they saw what the WNBA lucked into during their Olympic year where they got, here's our WNBA All-Stars who didn't make the Olympic team versus the Olympic team. Like that was just gold for them. And it was actually a great game because the folks that didn't make Team USA, like they played with a chip on their shoulder. There was an actual competition. But you're never going to get that with the NBA. Also, Team USA is like super loaded,
Also the WNBA, it's frankly an apples and oranges as far 100%. As the way that their league is so small.
Yeah.
The talent pool is so compressed. And then you have those things. There's all these other things you're talking about where it's like you could form a team that could compete with the other, your all-star best team.
Right.
But anyways, Dave, the finals were amazing. Before we get into some of that. And also there's other news. I mean, we got Tom Thibodeau getting fired. We got other things going down. Were you able to find your oatmeal in Oklahoma City? Dave on the road. I know you like to bring your own oats. I know, but
yeah.
Did you go have like a T-bone? Some of the local cuisine?
No. I've pretty much eaten like, I don't know, 1,000 calories in the 2 days.
Are you just like at a Hampton Inn eating their continental breakfast?
I ate a ton of gummy bears last night at the game, though. The gummy bears that Oklahoma City
media gummy bears, are they the good ones?
they're like Albanese or whatever.
Oh, Albanese are so good.
Fantastic. Yeah. And they had Mike and Ike's. It was a pretty good little snack spread.
They had Mike and Ike's?
Yeah. It was a good setup.
I got to work harder, Dave, so I get to these NBA finals. If I would have known,
don't do that.
The gold at the end of the rainbow was Mike and Ike's and Albanese gummy bears. I would have actually tried harder in my life.
Why don't you just move to Oklahoma City?
Man, and
cover the Thunder.
I really should.
I struggle with food on the road.
Yeah,
and like everything is meat or eggs, right? And especially here in the Midwest. But I did have sushi for breakfast today. So
I had sushi too. It wasn't breakfast; it was lunch. I mean, I had it at noon.
Well, it was 11. So
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let's jump ahead. No apologies. Sorry, everyone. Haliburton comes through again. Is it honestly too rote at this point? I'm like queuing up the highlights for my kids in the morning, and they just roll their eyes. Like, oh, Pacers are going to win. You know, I turn the it's like YouTube has the watch the final 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And my kids are like, oh, they're down by 9. They got this.
That was about the time that I turned to Esper Henny, who was next to me, and I said, "Oh, the Pacers are winning this."
Well, it was, I think, when you're watching this at home, and of course, the stunning storyline beyond the heroics of the end, it's the Pacers having 19 turnovers in the first half, which is just what? How do you do that? And everyone, obviously identifying keys to the series. The Thunder force all these turnovers, and they're great at scoring off of the turnovers. And the Pacers have been good at not turning the ball over. And then they turn over 19 times in the first half. But what was 13, 12-point game, something like that at halftime.
Yeah.
And you're still like, all right, even though I knew the Pacers are pretty happy to only be down this much, it still didn't feel like, all right, they're definitely going to do it. Because then I want to say maybe for me, it was the first, I think it was an Aaron Nesmith 3 to go from 9 to 6 or something, where at that point I'm like, oh, I feel like they're actually going to win this. Like, I mean, the whole time I'm like excited, but I hadn't set up fully on my couch downstairs. When Aaron Nesmith hit the one to go to 6, I'm like, here we go. 6-point game with 2.5 left is nothing. It was thrilling. What was that like in arena?
Okay. So number one, I want to start just this is a great place to watch a basketball game, and the fans are super bought in. And every person who's done media that's come to OKC or talked about it has talked about how bought in they are. The whiteout was awesome.
Yeah.
This crowd is super into these games. I mean, they don't actually do a lot of the little mini games during the game because the crowd is chanting. They're singing together, the entire arena.
I like that.
During free throws, they stand up, and I mean the entire arena all the way up to the walls, standing during free throws. So the vibe there is amazing. It's more like a Euro League or like a college atmosphere than what we're used to with an NBA arena, right? This is a real,
perhaps more like a revival.
Sure. Yes.
Maybe a little.
There's some snake handling, maybe.
I love
it. Yeah. Well, it's Shea snaking the pick and roll. That's what.
There you go.
But Jalen Williams, J-Dub gets that big dunk, right? The steal and dunk, right?
Yeah.
And flexes, and then
that also, sorry, that steal and dunk, it was so crushing. This is like my wife's reading her Kindle, doesn't really care that much.
Yeah.
To the point where I actually said out loud, that was crushing, because it had come off of the Pacers missing a layup. I think it was Matherin missed a layup, and then they try to tap it in. It goes out of bounds, and then you throw the touchdown pass to the other team, the pick 6. And it was the first time I spoke about the whole game where I was like, that was devastating. Yeah. But anyways, sorry, go ahead.
And well, so after that, the Pacers call the timeout, and I'm thinking, oh no. Well, and then they hit a couple shots.
Yeah.
And as Nesmith hits that 3 to cut it to 6, Nembhard.
The
the dribbling,
the crossover, the Rucker Park and one tour. Yeah.
It's so rare to see a guy dribble that many times and still take a shot, right? And he hits that, and then he comes down and tries it again, and we're leaning, we're trying, is it going in? And then Siakam comes up with this huge offensive rebound and putback. The putback timeout.
Yeah.
And then that's when the crowd was like,
because that was a 1-point game at that point. And
and the crowd,
I assume before that, it was one of those things where you have that communal terror of like, hey, we're actually letting this slip away. And it's even
still cheering loud though. They were
so,
still
before then. There's the back-to-back threes. I believe after Nembhard hit that wild step back right into Shea's face, you actually had the Dort block that led to the tough Shea layup. And for me, that was like, oh, was that the momentum? Was that it right there? Because an amazing defensive play by Dort. I mean, Dort had a game. All right, Dort made all those threes, made that stop right there, but also just in the most humiliating fashion, just kept throwing himself on the ground. This goes back to a thing I used to joke about, where it's like, you should have a limit the number of times you hit the ground in an NBA game. This is like the Dwayne Wade fall down 5, stand up, whatever it was. Like, it's like, but Dwayne Wade would throw himself on the ground to get calls. And then we have like that wouldn't work because Embiid falls to save his body from injury. It's like, I don't know. Dort fell down 10 times in that basketball game. And to my eye, if he needed to, didn't have to fall down once. He voluntarily fell down at least 10 times in that game, to the point where you're like, I can't with this.
Anytime you screen Dort,
it's like if you screen Dort, he's going down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The shot comes from the book depository building is how it looks when he goes through a screen, right?
Right.
So, and then Shea comes down. This was really when the crowd started to feel like it was happening, right? Shea misses that shot.
Yeah.
Pacers go.
Yeah.
I didn't think Haliburton. I thought Haliburton was looking to pass, and Cason Wallace sits on his left hand to block the drive, but he's sagging back just enough, and I think Haliburton is looking at the clock when he's going up to make a jump pass, and winds up with the shot. And it's not a shot that Haliburton takes, right? Like now watching it in real time, like that's what I was thinking, right?
Right.
Watch it back. I think he was looking for that shot, but that is not a shot that anyone takes. That's not a typical mid-range zone at all, much less a Haliburton shot.
Right.
And he hadn't really had a great game scoring the ball, like at all. He wasn't like he was shooting the lights out.
Nope.
14 points for the game. And then he pulls up, and you knew it was going in when he took the shot, Keith. Like, I just knew it. And the air left that building like someone took a needle and popped it. It was just instantly gone. Dead. 0.3 seconds is all they led in the entire game.
I know that part's amazing. It's just unbelievable to not have the lead at any point. And now you have all these clutch stats. I'm sure if you've been on social media, you've seen a lot of them. Now Haliburton 4 for 4 on shots to take the lead or to tie or to take the lead in the final 2 seconds.
I was gonna say 6 out of 7 in the last, in shots to tie or take the lead in the last minute of the game in the playoffs.
That's for the whole. And so this postseason, all other players are 1 for 13 in that situation with the final 2 seconds to tie or take the lead. And Haliburton is now 4 for 4. You have another 15-point comeback for the Pacers this postseason. They've done that more times than any team ever in a single postseason. They were down by 9 in the final 3 minutes. It's the biggest comeback in the final 3 minutes of the finals in the play-by-play era. You also have this. They were minus 18 in turnovers. And this is the first playoff game anyone's ever won with that big of a negative turnover differential.
I have to dig into the tape on this. I have to dig into the tape because I haven't had time to rewatch or anything.
Yeah.
I want to know I definitely was part of the game plan, but if you notice that the Pacers were getting back, they were not aggressively trying to get offensive rebounds. Yeah. I mean, Pascal Siakam winds up with 4 of them or something, but part of that was just because he was coming in, cutting from the dunker and just happened to get some tip outs. But there was a shot in the fourth quarter where I thought, man, the Pacers should have gotten a rebound, but they let it go to stop transition. This is one of the amazing little turn of events here is that I think Carlisle's figured out a way. Hey, we turned the ball over. We're going to turn the ball over against them. We've just got to stop them from getting layups off that. And they did an amazing job. I mean, at one point it was, I think they had 16 live ball turnovers. The Thunder received 16 live ball turnovers, and they had scored 1 time on it. It was like a 0.31 points per possession on that, which is unheard of. Because again, the keys to the series that everyone knew coming in, every single NBA podcast, we're all saying the same stuff because by the time you get to the finals, we kind of all know the same things. Pacers have to cut down their turnovers because the Thunder, that's 20% of their offense. They get 20% of their points off turnovers. Never occurred to me, okay, look, you know what? we're going to turn the ball over. They are not scoring on turnovers. It's a little bit of like, I don't know. I mean, you don't want to do that, right? You don't want to turn the ball over.
Sure.
But if you're going to, okay, that's the way to do it. But still, if the Pacers don't shoot the lights out compared to the Thunder could not shoot. They couldn't shoot inside, especially.
They struggled,
couldn't score around the basket. Miles Turner is going to get overlooked for his contributions in this game. That guy's defense was excellent. He only had 3 blocks, but he was changing shots. He was just big down there. Like, he really showed up, I thought huge. But the Pacers have shot like this during the playoffs. Like, I'm not surprised they were able to do that. I don't know. Still, it's amazing. I'm sitting here just kind of like reliving it in my head.
It was still amazing, and I think it will be worth monitoring to see how replicable the turn it over but don't give up points off those turnovers. If that actually is,
they found something though. And I mean, this is something I think they already had, but if you look in the second half, right, they only turned it over like 4 times.
Yeah.
Andrew Nembhard bringing the ball up.
Yeah.
They were starting with Haliburton in the corner. So like the first half of that game, the way that the Thunder were guarding Haliburton, they were actually, Dort was not guarding him directly most of the time. They were having Dort pre-switch onto whoever was coming up to set the screen for Haliburton so that they were able to throw Dort on him in the screen. Or it was a lot of Dort and Case and Wallace working together there. So like you know, whichever way you go off the screen, you've got a defender there, right? Like, so they were switching, but pre-switching to get Dort up. And the way that Carlisle counteracted that in the second half, Haliburton not on the ball. You're not on the ball. He averaged 2.5 dribbles a possession or something, right? Nembhard, I think, was around 4. TJ McConnell was around 4. That was the key to the second half. Nembhard has a very tight handle. He also doesn't turn the ball over a lot. And you get that pressure off Haliburton, and still the defense has to pay attention to. Haliburton has some gravity.
Oh, yeah.
For this Oklahoma City Thunder team, right? Like they're constantly paying attention to him. But Nembhard bringing the ball up, I would love to see Pascal bring it up a little bit more in game 2, because I just think anything to get Haliburton down the court, get him on the move coming off of like a pin down or something, and that way you're at least making the Thunder do more switching before he even touches the ball, rather than allow him to switch while he's got the ball in his hands. I thought that was an excellent adjustment. I mean, Rick Carlisle is such a good coach, right? And he's been doing this for so long. He's seen pretty much everything. But even just making that little tweak, hey, you're not going to bring the ball up. We're going to have these other guys bring the ball up, take the pressure off of him. I don't know. It was a great move. And the turnover thing, a lot of this was Miles Turner would catch the ball.
Yeah, he had so many turnovers.
Yeah, they would swarm him. Obi Toppin actually had a few turnovers early, and it was that swarming defense and just the amount of physicality. Dude,
Obi's fourth quarter, man, just coming through. What a guy!
What a hero!
What a hero!
He's their fastball, man. Like, he comes off the bench, and it's like he's running 5 miles an hour faster than everybody on the court.
So one of the interesting things from the Thunder angle is that they swapped up their starting lineup. They played single big most of the time, and it was working. And you're like, oh, wow, we're forcing all these turnovers. It makes more sense to slow down the Pacers this way. We match up better doing this. But then you get to the end of the game, and it's like, well, you didn't actually make shots. You had that whatever. Was it the second quarter where the Pacers had 10 turnovers and like the Thunder only won by 3 points? It's like you won it by 28 to 25 with 10 turnovers to 1 or something. But then you get to the end of the game and you get another miracle, quote unquote miracle comeback from the Pacers. They've basically patented it this offseason or this postseason. But
rope-a-dope, man.
But then you look at the Thunder's decision. You're like, well, Hartenstein barely played. Holmgren's had 6 and 6. And it's
I was asking if
you got dominated on the glass, and it's like, oh, did you outsmart yourself? Or I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
Well, here's the thing, Keith.
Yeah.
We talk about playoff adjustments all the time, and Dagnall makes the first adjustment before you even play a game.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say this. Before the game, I'm thinking, okay, I like this move. I understand this move. I see what they're trying to do. More ball pressure, more switchability, right? Like it was all about Haliburton. So I understand the move. I just think you go through game 1, at least start with what got you there instead of kind of changing your rotations a little bit. And Hartenstein was awesome off the bench, 9 and 9, 17 minutes. I mean, there were +2 in the Hartenstein minutes. for whatever single game plus minus is worth to you. You know, they won those minutes. Chet, though, I mean, they won the Chet minutes. He was just awful. They won it in spite of him. You know, he puts the ball on the deck one time. He only takes 1 3, right? Like, so he's no threat to score at all. The one time he does put the ball on the deck, he winds up with some free throws. But I actually thought that this was a series. If they're going to play small, one of the big things they could do with that 5 out is if they're guarding you with Miles Turner, if they're guarding Chet with Miles Turner, okay, cool. When Miles Turner comes out to close out, you're cutting to the basket, but you've got Miles Turner out of the paint. They didn't do that. They didn't guard him with Miles Turner. So I thought, well, Chet's got to get shots up, period. Chet needs to take 5, 6 threes a game, maybe, if he's going to be out there, because they need that floor spacing to open up the paint. You know, a lot of people were asking me during the game last night, hey, how come the Pacers aren't sending 2 to Shea? How come they're not trapping Shea? And now in hindsight, I'm thinking, well, Shea puts up 30 shots to score 38 points.
Yeah, we
saw the Pacers do this to Donovan Mitchell. Yep. Hey, you're going to beat us. Your other guys, we're not worried about. You're going to beat us. Good luck.
I don't know if you saw this stat. Zach Cram pulled it out that the Thunder threw the fewest passes for any team in any game this season.
Yeah.
In that,
NBA Finals history.
Yeah. If you pace adjust it, it's one of the fewest amount of passes in a game. And yeah, they don't get assists. The ball's not whipping around. A lot of, I mean, some of that could be the turnover stuff where you get a shot. When you get a turnover, then maybe it's that one guy taking it down, trying to get a shot. But that's just an interesting.
Well, there's a lot of transition possessions I think the Thunder would love to have back. Like I'm thinking about one where Caruso actually just like draws a charge, right?
Yeah.
Caruso commits a charge around the basket. And meanwhile, like there were 2 defenders down there in front of him. I don't know why he didn't pull up and actually just run a possession, but that's a thing where, you know, maybe the Thunder don't trust their half court offense as much, which we've seen this year. Like if you were going to point to something that they struggled at, it's half court offense. Like they don't have this dynamic thing. You know, it's a lot of Shea, you know, dribble drive, like come off a screen, see if you can get into the paint. You know, he loves that mid range, which he hit a bunch of, but their offense isn't this dynamic system, which I'd say the Pacers have a much better offensive system than the Thunder do, especially in the half court. But I don't know. I mean, look, the Pacers played an awful first half and an amazing second half. That's all you can say, really, is it was a tale of 2 games.
It's so funny when we compliment these things and we poke holes in like a Thunder game plan, and we're like, oh, you know, when Jalen Williams isn't shooting very well, they kind of struggle. It's so funny we do this for games where it's like, and they led the entire game.
They led the whole game.
And then it's like the Pacers, we write these stories about them, and it's like against the game 1 against the Knicks. If that ball doesn't go, if we don't see comebacks that we've never seen before,
right?
None of these Carlisle adjustments mean anything. It's incredible. It's incredible.
The best thing about it is like we spent like a week saying, how do the Pacers possibly win? How do the Pacers? If you had told me they were going to take one of the first 2 games in Oklahoma City, I'd say that this is going 7. Now I had Thunder in 6 just because, like, look, that's what the numbers say.
Yeah,
they're 80-19 now on the season. Like they win games. Like this is a machine.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But the Pacers just they're a junk ball pitcher. They're a knuckleballer. It's like Tim Wakefield of basketball. They're weirdos.
The Pacers now, I can't get over this number. Pacers are 13-0 in the playoffs if they make more than 1/3 of their 3-pointers. And I know there's like 4 miracle victories in that, but still, it's like they haven't lost this postseason when they make more than 1/3 of their threes. So incredible stuff from the Pacers. They're such a fun team. And now we'll see. I mean, the Thunder dropped the game 1 to the Nuggets. We'll see what happens if the Pacers can keep this up.
Eerily similar to that game 1 loss to the Nuggets. Yeah. So, they probably have some nightmares today.
Yep. Let's take a break, Dave, and then we'll come back. Let's hit some of the other NBA storylines, non-finals related, and also we'll do the awards segment of the program. All right, real quick, Dave, since we know you're in OKC with things to do, a couple of news items.
There's things to do here?
I assume.
Hey, there's like, There's an old grain.
Is there a shoot around or anything? What are you supposed to go do?
There's apparently a pickup game tonight, but
there you go.
Old, Keith, and the last time I played basketball, I tore my calves. I retired.
The Knicks fired Tom Thibodeau.
Ooh, yeah.
Did I just break that news to you?
No, I forgot.
Your reaction was
I haven't talked about Tom Thibodeau since he got fired, basically.
there are some talks
to not fire him.
There are talks today about Jason Kidd being a serious candidate for this. Jason Kidd getting out of the Maverick situation is incredible.
He's not that bad of a coach, honestly.
How is he that much different than Tom Thibodeau, though? I mean, he's got a decent track record, sure.
Yeah. I don't know that he's I don't know that I'm not going to say he's a better coach than Tom Thibodeau. I think Tom Thibodeau is such an amazing floor raiser for your team. But I don't know. Jason Kidd he's made a finals as a coach. He's had some very interesting things that he's done, like as a basketball coach, where you're like, oh, okay, this guy is thinking outside the box, and I think that's what the Knicks are looking for. Obviously, he's got the history there. Is he a CAA client though?
I think yes.
The most important thing.
That's the most important thing.
Obviously. I'm more interested. I'll be honest. I'm more interested in where Tom Thibodeau winds up than who winds up the next Knicks coach.
There you go.
Because the Knicks have moves to make, in my opinion. Like, I think that whoever their coach is, well, okay, let's see what the roster is going to be like for them. That's more interesting. Like, what are they going to do about Mikal Bridges, who is a weird fit for them?
Trade him back to the Suns for Kevin Durant.
I said that for Kevin Durant, but you got to add stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
but the Suns. Sorry,
Tom Thibodeau though is. I'd like to see him wind up somewhere like. I wish he could get like the Atlanta Hawks job. Like, could we get him in Atlanta and let him be a floor? Can they be the sixth?
Where's Quinn Snyder gonna go?
I don't know. Somewhere else. Send him to Charlotte. Who cares?
The Suns said they don't want Bradley Beal to come back. That's been reported. What are their plans there?
Pay him.
Are they trying to get Bradley Beal to retire? Like, what do you mean?
Is Bradley Beal not already retired? I mean, he lives in Phoenix. He plays basketball for 6 months a year. It's a great life. Why would you, if you're Bradley Beal, unless you're going to go to like a championship contender, which probably not.
Yeah.
Why would you leave? You know?
The Suns did hire a coach, Dave. They hired Jordan Ott, who was an assistant coach on the Cavaliers. The Suns narrowed their coaching search down to 2 assistant coaches on Dan Gilbert's Cavaliers. Dan Gilbert and Matt Ishbia, the Suns owner, are rivals, real estate rivals. Quite obviously, the guy they chose, Ott, worked at Michigan State. So now the entire Suns organization basically has Michigan State connections. The GM, the owner, the other president of basketball ops guy they hired.
I literally do not know who the GM is.
It was some name where they're like, random guy. He was a coach while Ishbia was at Michigan State. I want to know now that they're making this all Michigan State team. I mean, are they not going to make these extreme offers for Draymond Green and Jaren Jackson Jr.? Could we not get Devin? Could the Grizzlies trade Jaren for Devin Booker? I mean, what? Isn't that their dream? If they could Durant for Draymond Green, and then Booker for Jaren. I don't know what Xavier Tillman's out there.
They can't trade Booker.
No, they can't.
Trade Booker. The thing is though, this coach, you're hiring a first-time coach. Yeah, it feels like okay. What are you going to do? A rebuild?
This is going to be Devin Booker's 7th non-interim coach.
He should ask for a trade. I never say that, Keith.
7 full-time coaches in your tenure on one team. That's incredible. The Jazz hired Danny Ainge's son.
How did he get the job?
He's the best candidate available.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The NBA runs on that, right?
Man, incredible stuff.
I mean, hey, if you guys ever get a chance, go to a team site, just roll through like who's working in social media, who the scouts are. Yeah. I mean, it's a bunch of names, we'll just say that.
Yeah. It's like, wait, that last name sounds familiar. Let's answer a listener submitted question, Dave.
Any questions?
This is the croissant questioner.
Are you going to finish that croissant?
Magnus wants to know, The question master, Magnus, wants to know, what's your take on this circle logo turkey bacon conspiracy? And then he links a Reddit post, Dave. Here's the conspiracy about the circle logos in the NBA. Quote, it seems clear the league is pushing teams towards uniformity in logo shape and dimensions. I think this is in response to the Magic having new jerseys and a new logo. Mm-hmm. And instead of it being like a little rectangle Magic thing, it's now just the same circle that everyone else is doing. Circle logo. All right. So it seems clear the league is pushing teams towards uniformity in logo shape and dimensions so that the team logo can go where the ad patch is currently when the ads take over the large team name area across the chest. Dave, what are your thoughts on this conspiracy theory?
The NBA loves money. So I there might be something to this. Obviously everybody's familiar with what international jerseys look like. If you watch any Euro League, it's good luck telling me what team is playing, right?
Yeah, you see, it looks like Spotify is playing,
right? Playing Emirates
like Qatar Airlines. Yeah.
That's coming here. The NBA would love to have their jerseys look like NASCAR. It's why you don't have the Larry O'Brien patch on the jersey in the finals.
I will say this conspiracy, this smells right.
It does smell right.
When you look at how there used to be a bunch of different shapes and sizes when it came to team logos, and now everything looks like an SB Nation blog. It's all just a circle that goes on your Twitter avatar space. Yeah, that smells right. That's a good.
It does smell right. That is a conspiracy theory that sounds like they were sitting in on a Zoom call.
But what are the Grizzlies going to do when they don't have a jersey sponsor? Just have a big blank space, a big blank space on their chest with a little Grizzlies logo.
Get a jersey sponsor?
They didn't have one for a while. Clutch finally hooked them up with Robin Hood this year. I mean, come on now.
We just got to let's get some casino sponsors.
We got to get those wealth sovereign funds in here.
The Dallas Maverick fan duels is what's coming, right? The Los Angeles Draft Kings. I can't wait. Yep. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. It's much like NASCAR as we can make this. Let's just wring as much cash as we can out of every single thing.
Yeah.
But that tracks. That's a great call. I actually had. You know what's funny? I haven't seen the Magic logo, the new one. I haven't even seen it.
It is not that different. I mean, their new jerseys. I will say they're obviously 90s throwbacks.
Right.
I like the fact baseline. They look like basketball jerseys.
Yes.
Like they don't look overly weird. I like that one's white and one's blue.
Black. Oh yeah.
I think the other one, the blacks and blue one together, they were trying to replicate. The one that
looks like the warm up.
They're trying to replicate the old Shaq warm ups. It's fine.
Just get the warm ups.
The fonts, I think the font is pretty dull, but at the very least, it's a white jersey and a blue jersey, and to me that passes the muster of it's
and
fine.
They'll wear the blue jersey at home.
Right. But yeah, the rest of it, it's like, all right, I don't get too excited about all these things. Anyways, Magnus, thank you for the question.
Thanks for putting that on my radar because I wouldn't have seen it. It was on the Reddit.
Yes.
That's a good conspiracy.
Dave, it's now time for the awards segment of the program, the International Stackhouse of Pancakes Award, given to the worst performance in a box score. This is for the last week. Don't have that many games. Had a full 5 days off of basketball. I watched so many good movies. Like Mike, not one of the ones I watched in the last week.
What's the best movie you watched?
Well, oh man, what's the name of that world? Oh, now I gotta look it up. It just slipped my mind. I rewatched The Sweet Smell of Success, which I love. It's so good. I watched that for the first time this year. No, I watched this movie from after World War II. It was. I might have talked about it before, actually. Oh, that was further back. Oh, I watched Sinners a couple of days ago. I really like Sinners.
It's good.
That's a new movie. I was into that. I watched The Train, which was incredible. It's a Burt Lancaster movie from like the late 60s. They crash so many trains in this movie, like actual trains.
Did you look up what the budget
It was great. They blew up a train yard in this movie. Like I'm telling you, this is like late 60s, and there's like these, like Burt Lancaster is like pouring I don't know what it is. He's like pouring a silver mold, and he's actually making like some kind of thing that goes on the train. Like it's like one shot. It's not these fake
smelting.
Yeah, it's not these fake cut together things they do now in all the Netflix originals where it's like, oh, that was a 20-minute one shot. No, it wasn't. These are actual like long. It was kind of amazing. No, the best years of our lives was a movie from the 40s that's like depressing. And it's all about soldiers returning home for World War II and how the world has irreparably changed. And it's really socially conscious. And it's one of those where you're like, this was a big movie released in the 40s. Like, this is really, I don't know, like
never seen it.
Talking about how soldiers like their lives are ruined. And there's just like rich people who are like, clearly like the movie is like being like, these people stink. It was amazing.
Movies used to do this, Keith. Like, come on. I mean, It's a Wonderful Life. The whole thing is that this real estate,
well, then you had, I can't remember who it was. I can't remember what it was called. Like initially, I feel like the MPAA, their job was to make sure that workers and the common man were not overrepresented in movies. Because they were trying to fight communism. Their goal was like, no, the rich people need to be the heroes. Right. And so it was like all these subversive, like, oh, they made a carpenter the hero in this one.
Well, I mean, all the 80s movies, it was like corporate CEOs.
But literally that was guys, right? The movie, The Train. It's like Burt Lancaster's a guy who knows how to do stuff with his hands. He's like, there's these long takes of him like unscrewing things where it's like, and he's sabotaging. It was great. Anyways,
sounds like a YouTube channel.
This is the International Stackhouse of Pancakes Award, Dave.
I got to see this movie now.
You should check it out. It's on Prime Video for free if you're a subscriber. Honorable mention in the last week, Nickeil Alexander-Walker in the Game 5 beatdown. He was 0 for 8. Our 3 nominees, worst shooting performances in the last week. Also same game, his teammate, Jaden McDaniels, 2 for 13. Had 5 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover, 1 personal foul. OG Anunoby in a Game 5 win over the Pacers. He was 3 for 14, 11 points, 4 rebounds, 3 steals, 1 turnover, 2 personal fouls. And then Jalen Williams in Game 1 of the finals, 6 for 19, 17 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, no turnovers, 4 personal fouls. So we got Jaden McDaniels, 2 for 13, 5 points, 5 boards. OG Anunoby, 3 for 14, 11 points, 4 boards. Jalen Williams, 6 for 19, 17 points, 6 assists.
I think I go Jaden.
That's probably Jaden McDaniels. I think it's the worst game there.
Yeah, Jaden, elimination game. I mean, he's hit or miss, right? Like, I mean, he's so hit or
he's a guy. He's one of those guys where when you see him on his best days, you're like, is that guy one of the best players in the NBA?
Is he the number 2?
Right.
Like, oh, wow. We got a Jordan and Pippen now.
They're basically, they look, the Timberwolves always look unstoppable when Jaden McDaniels has good games. But then he has these 5-point games, kind of a lot. So congratulations, Jaden McDaniels, on winning this week's award. Jalen Williams now, he's putting together a handful. He's got like 5 just true abominations in this playoff.
I don't think Game 1 was an abomination.
Not a full abomination, but like I'm saying he's put together some like 5 for 20s, 3 for 16s, 2 for he's had several of these, which is keeping him from being that maybe the true Scottie Pippen to Shea. 100%. I know he's putting together the awards this year, but I mean, it's still early in his career.
I mean, honestly though, a little bit like Scottie Pippen, to be honest with you. Yeah. Because Scottie wasn't exactly the greatest shooter or scorer. Right. He did okay, but
he was also great. Also,
yes.
Anyways,
my dog's name is Pippen. Come on.
There you go. Last thing, going back to the Eastern Conference Finals, Siakam won the MVP of the Eastern Conference Finals over
rightfully
Haliburton. You think rightfully? I mean, like Siakam was great. 6-game series. I feel I fall more. First of all, I do like the fact that there was no time to get a consensus. I like that we had a 5-4 vote. I like that it was 9 people and it was kind of random.
Yeah.
I thought on this I feel like part of it seemed a little shocking to me. Siakam, more consistent stats, had some big games, but then part of me goes to like the whole, like, maybe it's just the quarterback thing in football. Like, where I was like, it seemed like I think about just the play. like the shot that went in, even if it was Neesmith who set up game one. But then I was wondering, when we do these like finals MVP, or when we do an MVP for a single series, should we just throw out the losses? Cause like Haliburton's stats in the 4 wins, we're talking 25 points and 13 assists per game. So like, that's MVP. Who cares if he was terrible in the loss? I don't know. I just thought it was interesting.
Well, for me, it's the fact that Siakam guards. I mean, he really guarded in that series. I mean, he gave Karl-Anthony Towns everything he can handle. Like Towns had like one, maybe 2 good quarters in the whole series.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think Pascal Siakam is an underrated player.
He's great.
Completely underrated.
Well, it's so funny because literally last week I was like, we don't talk enough about Siakam. And then he wins Eastern Conference Finals MVP. And I'm like, maybe too much.
Started calling him the cooler.
Okay.
Doesn't it feel like he hits a big shot every single time
he makes a big play? He makes so many big plays.
Yeah, and he's the thing is he does it quietly, which is why he's easy to overlook. But I mean, and then down the stretch, he allows them the flexibility to bring in Obi Toppin to close the game, because it's like, okay, well, we know we've got Siakam who can guard anybody. Like anybody inside, he can give us rim protection. He's going to rebound, all these other things. Excellent player. That trade for Siakam is why they made
so good
conference finals last year. It's why they're in the finals this year. And he really kind of completes that team with his flexibility. He's a Swiss Army knife. Like he's a really good player.
Also, speaking of Siakam and Toppin and all that, and so now the Thunder can try to bounce back, and we hopefully we have a good series on our hand.
Yeah.
I mean, unbelievable game one. I think that the one thing that I remain so impressed by these teams is how they have guys who are going to be on the court at all times. In both of them, maybe 2, where you're like it's always going to be Shea, and it's always going to be J-Dub, and it's probably going to be Dort. But then there's some wiggle room on who else, and same with the Pacers, where it's like Miles Turner's not closing games, and like Holmgren and Hartenstein didn't close the last game. And so like, I'm impressed just overall with the willingness of the teams, of the coaches, of the players, of the buy-in to be like, there is some versatility on the lineups, the players that like won't be out there. You won't have, guys you think of as being near all-stars out there.
I was shocked when Miles Turner got benched. Well, not benched. He didn't get benched when they subbed in Obi for Miles Turner to close the game. Because Miles Turner, like his defense, his rebounding, remember he hits the big step back 3. He really was a part of that comeback there at the end. I mean, it was a team effort by the Pacers. This is the big thing that will get overlooked. They had 6 guys in double figures, but nobody with 20 points. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's I've been saying this quite a bit about the Pacers team. They have like an offense that's built on anarchy. It's a bureaucracy almost of offense. Anybody can do anything. Nembhard shooting mid-rangers. Neesmith, his ability to put the ball on the floor and get to the basket is actually, it's 3 dribbles for him, but he can do it, and he's such a threat to shoot now. They're really fun, man. It's a fun team.
And then there's stretches where it's like TJ McConnell, bail us out. Just TJ McConnell go cook for a little bit.
Before the game, I'm like, how is TJ McConnell going to play against the Thunder? There's no way. He can't shoot threes. He's so small. And then he just dribbles into the paint. And he was like, he had 9 points or something. He's their leading scorer, or tied for leading scorer at halftime or something.
Right.
And this is the thing about this Pacers team. My hope is that the takeaway from the finals is like everyone else, like watching this playoffs, like you need 10, 12 guys. You need 10 or 12 guys to get through the regular season. You need a 9-man rotation in the playoffs now. Team building is going to change.
Well, then you beyond that, you need 7 guys who you might be down with closing with or something.
Right.
Depending on the circumstance.
Depends on what's happening. You have to be able to match what the other team's going to do. And in a lot of ways, the Thunder going small worked against them because Obi Toppin was so awesome.
Right. I mean, they went small and then they didn't score the last 2 minutes. And
this is one of my favorite basketball games ever, Keith. Like, honestly,
you're just in the glow of it. It's amazing.
I really am. I can't shake it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm not like too cool for school guy. That's not my thing, but I am pretty chill, and I was pretty chill. Like I flew out here, you run into everybody. Hey, what's up, buddy?
You're like a guy who saw his first Broadway play.
I feel like it.
Yeah.
I feel like it. And I can't even count how many basketball games I've just watched in the last month. And man, it was amazing. I loved every single piece of it. The fact that the Thunder played 11 guys in the first half actually kind of rules. Like AJ Mitchell got minutes in the finals.
Yeah, he did.
Like, where'd that come from?
Yeah. Well, awesome. I'm excited for you, Dave, and hopefully you'll get another good game 2 on Sunday. Hopefully it'll be just as exhilarating. Anyways,
we should do this again Monday morning.
Yeah, we'll see. You might need a break, man.
I'm fried.
We'll see. Anyways, thanks everybody for hanging out with us. Thanks everybody over at patreon.com/Fastbreak Breakfast for supporting the show. You guys are the best. Thanks for listening. And remember, breakfast is the most important thing.
Yeah, never apologize for being G&G. Fastbreak break, man. You understand? I will remember.